Sam, there will be no us.
Priscilla, don't say.
I got Richard trying to have sex with Frida. I got this creepy ass son of a bitch kid I know did something to Jean, and I shouldn't even be having to deal with your shit. I'm just so disappointed in you.
All right, Oval fans, we're talking about Priscilla herself in this video because based off the Facebook group post I had to approve for the, again, the Oval Facebook group I have, a lot of people ain't feeling her. I feel like more people were annoyed at Priscilla last night than they were in regards to, you know, Nancy over the past few episodes. And I can definitely see why. I talked about it in my episode review for last night's episode about how it was a very well acted scene between Priscilla and Sam. But overall, is Priscilla's anger warranted? Should she be feeling the way she's feeling? Let's get into it. But before we do, go ahead and hit the thumbs up button to show you like the video. Hit subscribe. That goes for everyone. If you have been a long time subscriber, please double check to make sure you're still subscribed. Some people have been informing me that YouTube has been unsubscribing them for some reason. Also, if you are a frequent viewer of the channel but you've never hit subscribe, remedy that right now. Hit that subscribe button because I'm trying to increase the percentage rate of subscriber watch time on the channel. Also, follow me on social media. I've mentioned the group, 3 times in the past minute, but the Oval Facebook group, as well as my other social media platforms in the description box below. And at the very end of the video, if you would like to financially donate to the channel, which is not required, but it is very much appreciated as I have less than 3 months on my current lease, feel free to do so on PayPal or Cash App. You'll find links in the description as well. And at the very end of the video, you'll see that information pop up too. So I talked about in the episode review how I really wasn't feeling Priscilla's justification for being upset. Sure, I can understand if I were married and my spouse was, you know, getting sexual with another person. I guess that's the easiest way to say it. But Sam is like the equivalent of a student. Like, let's say the student got his hands on the cheat sheet from a professor's exam, and it's like he's like, Professor, I got the cheat sheet. Look, but it's open. Yeah, I know it's open, but I did not look at it. That's essentially what's going on here. It's like, you know, Sam was going to shoplift, but he didn't walk out of the store. It's like, I know I walked past the register without paying, but I wasn't going to leave. It's kind of like, you know, hey, just because the hot dog was open, that didn't mean the first lady got to put the relish on it. That's pretty much where they're at. But basically, Priscilla just goes on to say all the various reasons that Sam might be, I guess you could say, lashing out, if you will. Is it because we don't have kids? Is it because we don't have sex a lot like you want or anything? And it's like, oh, your brother, Will, I think that's what his name is. Let me double check. Yeah, his brother Will's like, he's out of debt. He has plenty of kids. So he must, I guess Priscilla feels that Sam isn't fulfilled in their marriage. So that's why he's doing what he's doing. And apparently they're in some debt as well because her mother had or has cancer. I think it's implied that her mother passed away. I'm not 100% sure. But in any case, there was a second mortgage on the house, meaning that they're in debt because of her mother's declining or declined health. And that just makes me more pissed off at Priscilla for giving $25,000 to Nancy for Picky's funeral. Like, if it was just a $5,000 or whatever or was it $5,000 to $7,000? But then she's like, no, here's 12. No, here's 25. This is your son. So basically, they're in the hole even further because I don't believe Sam is aware. But didn't Sam say that he knows Priscilla took all the money from his account? Or am I remembering that wrong? Because I know Richard said he did all that on Nancy's. Like, I canceled all your credit cards and I took every penny out of the bank. But I do believe Priscilla did a similar thing to Sam. I had to double check that. But that was when Sam went home after Priscilla tore the place up, throwing his stuff out. And then she kicked him out that night. So I could be wrong about that, but I don't know. But essentially, What really made this scene awkward was the fact that she brought up the fact that, look, I got too much going on now. You know, Richard messing around with Frida, that creepy boy upstairs. I feel like he probably did something to Jean. I ain't got time for your mess. And I'm like, you're making time for everyone except for your husband. It's like Priscilla's running around worried so much about what's happening under everybody else's roof in their homes, whether it be Nancy and Richard's marriage, him flirting with Frida under the White House roof, not to mention the situation with Jean and the creepy Jason and possibly something that happened in his bedroom. So she doesn't have time for Sam. That's a pretty messed up thing to say for your partner, spouse, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever. It's like, hey, I'm going to worry about everyone else's problems except trying to, work on what's wrong with our marriage. So at this point, I don't blame Sam if they get a divorce or whatever, just because of the fact that, again, I'm not saying his hands are clean, so to speak, in a situation, but the fact that he's willing to try to work things out, but Priscilla is more concerned about what everybody else is doing, I feel like that's more of a negative reflection on her as opposed to Sam. But that's just my opinion. So I'm not here to do like a 20-minute, relationship breakdown video, but I feel like the few minutes I put into this video are suffice enough. I mean, let me know what you think. Was there anything else to add to this conversation? It's like I think the biggest thing for me is the Richard and Frida thing. You're so worried about the Nancy and Richard marriage that you're willing to let your marriage fall apart. Not to mention on top of that, yeah, it's like, Nancy stepped out and was Picky's son. I mean, Picky was her son, but you're more concerned about Richard not stepping out on Nancy as opposed to trying to fix whatever's wrong between you and Sam. So that's all I got to say. And like I said at the beginning, if you would like to donate, feel free to do so on PayPal or Cash App, or at the very least, make sure you like and subscribe to the video.